I'm a firm believer that I need to know where you're trying to go. So here's the thing. I teach a consulting class for MBAs. And one of the things I tell them is this: whenever you get a scope of work from a client, that problem is as the client understands it. It doesn't mean that that's the only problem. Doesn't even mean it's the problem that should be getting their attention.
Mm.
But what I do when I go in is I try to understand why they perceive that to be the issue. But I'm also looking at what are the things on the fringes that they haven't focused on that might be contributing. Because sometimes the problem is not the problem, it's the symptom. And so part of my job is to figure out where you've been, where you are, and where you're trying to go. And then so there's some things, other things that we need to take advantage of, or some things that we need to tackle. And so that's where I start with an organization, because every leader comes in with a vision of what they want to do, but they don't always know how best to do it. And so what I want to do is I want to say, let's take the vision in your head and let's at least be able to write it down in 2 sentences. Because if we can't clearly articulate it in 2 sentences, it's going to be extremely difficult for everyone below you to execute, because you're not going to execute that. You're the dreamer. And that's okay. It's okay to be the dreamer, but someone has to be the doer. So how do I give them something that's abstract that they can then create, convert it into something that's much more systematic, where we can build a process around it? Because if we can build a process, we can repeat it. And that's the key to me, is figuring out, I always say, look at your processes that are routine, that rarely go awry to where they don't require human intervention, and those things that are repeatable. The core of your business, because you should be innovating around your core rather than outsourcing your core. And in healthcare, we do a tremendous amount of outsourcing our core competencies.